Be more city. Be more city. Be more city. Be more's real team talk show. Be more's real team talk show. Welcome, Baltimore. Welcome, Baltimore. Welcome, Baltimore. I'm just waiting for my notifications that I am live. I see the YouTube. I see my Twitch. And hi, Baltimore. Hey, look, family. I feel real good. I feel really, 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 really good. I determined today, family, I wasn't gonna walk as far as I did the other day. Oh my God. I walked from Argonne Drive and Lock Raven over to York Road and Argonne Drive. Went past the church and everything. Then I went down to 29th Street and Greenmount, 33rd, all of that good stuff, right? Then I ended up walking across 29th over to Lock Raven. And then I came back up. You talking about somebody was hurting last night? I was hurting. But I thank God. I thank God. I don't know. It's like God got some awesome things in store, family. I was determined today I wasn't going to walk as far today. But I decided once again to walk through Morgan State University. Talk with a few of our young people over there. Some I didn't put on the camera. But one young lady said something to me and asked me, was I a content creator, right? And I guess in a sense that's what I am, but I was telling her about the Teen Talk Show, Be More's Real Teen Talk Show. She said, oh, I heard of that. And I said, what I'm going to do, I'm going to notify the school. And some Saturdays and Sundays, I probably go over there and do the live over there. Or I might do a pre-recording. But I just want to make sure I get the school's permission that it's okay, where I can talk with our youth. And the reason why I'm saying this, family, y'all know, right, where I'm at. Mainly when it comes to, when I say our 12-step spiritual journey, I'm talking about a spiritual connection or relationship with God, and even helping our children to gain one. You know, a lot of us, we'll work with other adults and stuff like that, but I don't think some of us have the patience and tolerance to work with the teenagers, the youth. You get me? So when I look at them from 13 to 19, those are the ones that my goal is to work with those from 13 to 19. Now they can be a little bit older as far as for the Teen Talk Show, because I do want to host around about 24, 25. Somebody who have been through some life challenges and was able to work up out of it. And they live in a total different way of life now. See, we need people like that to encourage, motivate, and inspire our youth. We need other youth, right? That been through challenges in life, like molestation, rape, Great for TikTok's sake, family, because I have to watch certain words for TikTok's sake. Um, uh, because of their community guidelines. The goal with everything I do, family, the goal with everything I do, because of God, He's the one that takes me back to my childhood, you get me? And walk me through that process of coming back up so that I can speak on things today at 64 years old. So that's why I do the teen talk, because I go back and I look at those years that I sedated my feelings with the alcohol, with the smugs, with the smacks. Smacks for TikTok sake, sex for my broadcast network. I want our youth, I want our children to be honest, family, to be able to talk about the traumas that they've been through that they wasn't able to share with their parents. You get me? Or they tried to tell their parents and the parents kind of shoved it to the side. That's why I call the Real Teen Talk Show giving our youth a voice. And the process of saying that, family, it dawned on me, giving our youth a voice, that the parents are actually the voice for the youth. You get me? Because they're our children. So we are actually the voice for the youth. That's why y'all might hear me say, parents, we listen and we don't judge. Because if some of y'all grew up on that misinformation, what's done in the house stays in the house. Children ought to be seen, not heard. Now, I'm going to tell you, I've been looking at this on TikTok, family. Now, I don't know too many talk shows or where our youth is actually talking about like challenges in life and how they struggling in it. They caught up in it. They don't know what to do, how to come up out of it. And that's our goal as grown-ups, to help them be able to walk up out of whatever situations they are dealing with. Now, I can guarantee you, right? I left from over Morgan not too long ago. And I was going past the behavior science building as well. Helping people deal with their trauma. So people getting their PhDs and their license in that area. But since this is the Teen Talk Show, family, I can only talk about, I really want to talk about the teens, basically. And them coping and dealing with life. But I want us as parents to take a good look at yourself for the stuff that happened in our lives when we was younger. And we didn't have nobody really to talk to about those things. Well, now, guess what? Not only do we have an opportunity to talk about those traumas that we suffered as children. The whole goal with everything when I open up my mouth is to address certain issues and then share in a process of healing and recovery. To let people know a day at a time, and our youth too. Even if you between the ages of 13 to 19, and you might be still being raped, being touched, being mentally, emotionally, and spiritually abused, verbally, and not to forget physically. And you still moving around our young people as though nothing is wrong. But deep down inside, you're miserable. But you're trying to cope with it. It's okay to seek counseling. It's okay to seek therapy. It's okay to talk about those issues as best as you can. And the reason why I'm saying it, because I'm looking at that pressure release, valve. When you talk about those things, they don't hold as much weight on your mind. And I'm talking about our teens who's dealing with life challenges from childhood too, because you got grown-ups doing it today too. Some of them are afraid to go back and take a deeper look at what happened. The goal is, when I say that, you want to learn to practice some forgiveness and some acceptance. Because whatever happened in our past, can I do that again? Whatever happened in our past is just what it is. Our past is done. It's nothing we can do to change it. And I'm talking to somebody. It's nothing we can do to change whatever happened in your past life. You survived it. In the here and now. Some people, for TikTok's sake, unalive themselves because of childhood trauma, because they didn't know how to deal with it in the here and now. They tried to reach out for people. And from what I understand on TikTok, it's some messy stuff that goes on too, where y'all encourage people to harm themselves. Now that's sad. That's not what the Teen Talk Show is about. I want you to be able to live free in here, in the here and now. It's March the 29th, 2026. Peace be still. Talking about our young people. You can move forward in your life. You can accomplish anything you want out of life. You still young. And I wanted to say, you still got that energy. You can accomplish your dreams, your mission, your purpose. Don't let it hold you back. Don't let your past hold you back. Do y'all know how good that felt to walk through Morgan? Knowing just about every teenager over there or young adult that I was running across, I know they was like 18, 21, maybe 25. I'm quite sure some of them 25. And I'm quite sure some elderlies over there too. Came back to school to get their license or PhD, stuff like that. But to watch them interacting, enjoying their lives, and don't you ever think just because they in college, bettering their lives, that they might not be dealing with trauma. It's just they walking through it. That's why our young our young men and women. Forgiveness is the key. Whatever went on, for you to have peace in the here and now, forgiveness and acceptance is the key to life. No matter what went on in my past, from the age 11 till 30, I was caught up with the drugs. For TikTok's sake, the smugs. I was caught up with the lifestyle. I came out in the 10th grade, and I like sharing this, right? Because I want to give our youth a sense of hope. Even though I came out in the 10th grade, but I knew deep in my heart, I always wanted to go to either culinary school. I wanted to be a chef or truck driver. Truck driving wanted out. At 21 years old, I became a truck driver. I got my CDLs, even though I came out of school in the 10th grade, 9th grade education. I drove tractor trailers on and off for 35 years. So I can tell you, not just going to college, but trade school. You can earn a decent living to take care of you and your family. I'm living proof. I'm living proof. And it's just giving our youth a sense of hope to keep going. No matter what, whatever your visions are, whatever your dreams are, keep going. Keep going. You the one have to make them come true. Whatever fantasies you had. Sometimes when I sit back and I look at my life, family, I fantasize about the grandkids. I fantasize about the retirement, the life. And then one day I realize I'm living it. I'm living it. Out of all of that I went through, I don't regret nothing that I have experienced throughout the years. Sometimes people might say, well, if you could go back and change whatever, right, what would it be? And I thought about it. Nothing. You know why? Because to be honest with y'all, my life was predestined before I came here. You get me? Before he put me in my mother's womb. So everything that I went through, God already knew. I'm going to try to make it simple for y'all, family. For our youth. I know that sounds simple, don't it? But when you're going through it, you're going through it. So I understand. But stand firm. Now, in that process, because y'all know whenever I open up my mouth, I always talk about the 12-step spiritual journey. And the reason why I do this, family, the same way with my own children. My children basically grew up in the church. They are not religious kids, okay? Their journey is more spiritual than religious, right? They live a well-rounded, productive life. I raised them in the Church of the Redeemed. April will be 25 years since we've been at the Church of the Redeemed. They don't go like they used to, but they know whenever they need to go home and just visit and fellowship and hear the word of God, they can go. They live in a very, very well productive life. I love it. I look at the work my wife and I did, my ex. See, I'm sharing this because so many people have platforms just for adults to just argue and fuss and whine. Just for adults on TikTok. And I'm not knocking y'all TikTok. If you want to make money off of people pain and misery, that's fine. I just don't care. That's not what the couch talk and that's not what the teen talk show is all about. So be honest with you, I don't look for a lot of y'all to be here. But one thing I do know with the Couch Conversation Show and the Teen Talk Show, my Restream platform, I stream to 8 different live stream broadcast networks, not just TikTok. Okay? My goal is to encourage, empower, and motivate the people. So the next time a lot of y'all want to blame stuff on the white man, like the white man this and the white man that, look at what we doing to each other. You better get out of that state. Because I'm not stuck there today. I'm not stuck. I'm not stuck. We can be our worst enemies, black people. We can be our worst enemy. But rather than pulling people down, that's what we do. We pull people down. Black people, we pull each other down. And then we'll turn around and say, that's the white man, that's the white man. That's us. And I'm not going to say they might not have certain things designed, because it's not just a white thing. And my young adults, like I was telling somebody just before I came in over at the college, I told them I'm a community activist. I'm a community outreach coordinator. I'm a community organizer. Y'all already know I got ordained deacon, right? But I'm a minister for Christ. See, a lot of them don't know who this old dude is walking around there with this camera. They don't know. So my goal in the process of doing what I do, family, I don't want the young ones to think it's this going around. You get me? This you get me? I don't want them to think this predator, no. So I have to announce myself. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation Show. Steve Copeland from B Moore's Real Teen Talk Show. Oh, I heard of that. Because you got to make them feel comfortable, family. You get where I'm going? I'm talking about our youth. They are babies. Then I got to watch it. Because I'm a protector. And sometimes when our youth is not used to somebody really caring for them and loving them, they will take it the wrong way. I walk down York Road, Green Mountain. I'm filming, so I'm letting people know, because I know a lot of people don't want to be seen. And then on top of that, because I'm known as the big mouth, bald head, black dude in Baltimore City, a lot of them don't want to be seen near me. Because to them, it's like, he a troublemaker. Because that's what the lady said the other day. She said, stay out of trouble. I'm like, I just run off in my mouth. As a community activist, as a human rights advocate, as a civil rights advocate, as a voice for the people in Baltimore City that's afraid to speak out. Do y'all realize I be afraid too sometimes? I'll be telling y'all that. Do y'all realize the courage and the confidence it takes to speak out the way I do? And don't sell people out? I ain't no different than nobody else. I want money too. I want that fast money too. But I refuse to turn my back on y'all. I have a conscious young people. My grandson just turned 18. I told my son, I said, me, you, and him got to go out to eat, right? Go out, just us hang out. Because I haven't seen him in a couple of years, you know. I haven't seen him in a couple of years. But I told my son, I said, we need to get together. We need to get together, right? I just want him to know his grandfather's here for him. I want my 8-year-old granddaughter to know. And guess what? I know they okay over there. I know they okay over there. It's the children that's not mine that I worry about. I look at how my nieces and my nephews that I raised family, me and my family, right? I'm looking at the ones, right, that Barbara Jean Copeland lineage, right? And I'm looking at my oldest brother, and I'm the second, is the oldest two of my mother's children still living. We are the elders now. We are the male patriarchs. And don't get it twisted with wanting to take advantage and control over women's lives or nothing like that. No. Stop reading into stuff, even though you might see something negative there. Stop pulling it out. Because it don't, you flip it. That's like with Bible. You flip it. My whole goal with everything, thank you, God, with everything that I do is to empower our youth. To empower our young adults. To empower our seniors. Look how I went up the line. Because I was once a child, an adolescent. Yeah, it might seem hard because I'm already there. But look, I was once a baby. Even though your parents might act like they never was a baby, they was born grown. No, they started out little too. To our youth. And slowly but surely they begin to grow. And my thing is, don't rush it. If you're 13, enjoy your 13th. Enjoy them. 14, be 14. If you're 14, 13, 15, and you know you're not 18, 19, enjoy your 13, 14, 15 years. Enjoy them. You don't have to act more mature or older than what you are. Listen to what I just said. Act. Because I did when I was younger. So my children family, I was determined. I was not going to allow my children to act more mature than what they really were. If they was 11, I wanted them to enjoy their year of being 11, then 12, then 13. You get me? I didn't want to put a lot of pressure on them. Adult responsibilities. That's what I'm saying, youth. Because sometimes our parents, they can become real busy maintaining the house. And that middle child or that oldest child might have to watch out for the younger ones. With cooking, cleaning, bathing, all of that. That don't make your parents bad parents. Their main goal was to focus on making sure y'all kept the roof over your head, but they might not have showed you that love, that affection, and that attention, that warmth that a lot of our young adults, right, or young children feel like they need to have. Come on. I'm talking to somebody, young adult. I came on y'all to make sure on Saturdays and Sundays about this time, I will continue doing the teen talk show at 6. I'm thinking about going to other colleges, more community stuff, you get me? Like with Uncle T and them, where I can do like on-site interviews or lives. Parents, we can call, same way they can too, but I'm talking about when I say call, I'm talking about talking to other people. Each one teach one, you get me? So we can call other adults and talk with them about certain things in life. But a lot of our children don't know how to express themselves in a more healthier way. So they do it in an unhealthy way. Some, not all. The same with a young girl that's going around sleeping here, sleeping there, sleeping everywhere. The same things with a young boy. Just because he's a boy don't make him no different than that girl. He's selling his own self short. Because I did. I didn't realize it. I thought it was okay to sleep here, sleep there, sleep everywhere. But I was selling me short. And I'm a man. So I don't fall for that bull jump. But I'm saying it for our youth. I was talking with my son the other day, family. And like I told him, I don't never want him to practice a lot of those unhealthy behaviors like his father did in a relationship and still got women on the side. That's me. I don't care how y'all carry it. But I'm talking with our youth because I don't want them to think it's okay to sell yourself short. And parents, y'all need to let them know. See, teach your children. And it has to be in you, parents. If you don't know how to love and truly care for yourself, then you won't be able to give it back to your children. You can give them what you think, basically by materialistic things. But let them know about that spiritual love that takes you back in. And that's my whole goal with my children as they was coming up. I wanted them to feel that love and that compassion, that biological bond inside from dad to them. And I guarantee you, parents, and it's not to put nobody down, a lot of you don't know how to do it because it wasn't given to you. So when you hear me say, I'm a loving, caring, kind, considerate man, when you hear me say, my children, that I'm a warm, sensitive, compassionate guy, I'm in here saying those things. I'm telling you how I feel in here because I had to learn to love Steve Copeland. The same love that I had to, it's not that fake love, right? It's not that let me buy you everything to make you feel whole and complete. Material things can't put this there. It's only temporarily. And I'm sharing with our youth. I'm telling our youth. It's okay to have material things. And if my son and daughters and them looking at me, y'all know what daddy's saying. If my nieces and nephews looking at me, y'all know what Uncle Steve is saying. My nieces and nephews, to show y'all, my family, close-knit family, right? They used to call me Uncle, Daddy, Steve, and they would laugh about it because they grown now. Remember when we used to call you Uncle, Daddy, Steve? And my oldest nephew, right to this day, will still call me his father. He know who his father is, but he know who basically raised him with the love and the compassion. That's why I do this, family. I'm only giving back. As a grown man, I'm only giving back what's in here. And I started realizing, family, not just our youth, right? As an adults, we are afraid sometimes to go in here and give our kids that love, the embracing them. I love you. You the best thing that ever happened to me. I'm so proud of you. But then you hold them, and when you hug them, you squeeze them. Because once you squeeze them, it's like, they gotta feel it. They hear what you saying. They hear it. But they need to feel it. Because they watching what we doing. They hear us. And they watching us. And our words or our actions has to match our words. You want to teach your kids how to be honest. Have faith back in themselves. Every time I say that word, faith is back inside. Trust. My mother taught me very well. Some kind of way I started using outside stuff to fill the voids. And I understand when our young adults are in the community, turn the community apart. That's their way of crying out for attention. That's their way of crying out for love and affection. And we'll sit back, they need home training, they need this, they need that. In some cases, yes, they do, I already know. But once they out, the ones that's trying not to get caught up into a lot of that chaos and confusion, even though they out with their friends and they see their friends acting real destructive, they will start backing up. They like, I ain't being part of that, even though they with them. They're not trying to be a part of the insanity. But guess what? Sometimes they can get charged with guilty by association and didn't do nothing. So make sure you make your kids aware of that. Teenagers, I'm finding out, right? And I looked it up. If a lot of y'all is smoking these vapes, I'm finding out a lot of young people now is going out because of the F that's in it, the Finney. For my broadcast network, it's the fentanyl family. I just have to watch my words for TikTok's sake. Y'all know that's a poison, right? And what they saying is by people ordering it offline and stuff like that, the vapes, and it's not, I'm gonna say, government approved or FDA approved. Those are the ones that they're starting to lace with the Finney. I fact checked it to see was it true. And it said that a lot about you. Parents, please talk to your children. because they said it's really hitting a lot of the young and young adults because they starting to vape now. I said, wow. Because now I'm looking at, because I got to watch it for TikTok's sake, family. Whoever that's doing it, putting that in. And then again, I'm going to tell you what it said from reading up on it. The whole goal with the Finney is to keep them more addicted to the vape. That's what I read it said. But now, mind you, it's a poison. Just a small amount of it. We fought teenagers to get safe consumption sites here in Baltimore City. So that when, now I'm talking about the hardcore smug addicts, right? Drug addicts for TikTok's sake. That stuff is laced with the Finney. If they go out, to have a team here to bring them back. That's why they put the Narcan back out and everything, family. And I'm talking to our youth. Because when I looked at them putting some on the stretcher and talking about how some is not making it. Now, mind you, I have not really been hearing about it until it came across TikTok. TikTok put out a lot of information. And I'm quite sure, I'm not on Facebook to seek a lot of that stuff like that. But I do have the news app and I have all those type of informations that I get. But I did not know it was taking out a lot of our children now through the vape. Now, I knew what it was doing with the adults. I knew that because we fought to get a safe consumption site here in Baltimore City. They created a bill. The bill got to Congress and Congress rejected the bill. So back then I said, oh, they just want people to be unalive. Because they rejected the bill for safe consumption sites where people can go. And if their stuff is laced with the Finney, right, it'll be a team there. So if they, whatever, using their smugs and stuff, right, if it take them out, it's a team to bring them back. And I shared this before, teenagers, our young people. I have 33 years clean, so I do not promote using at all. But then when I realized it was the point of helping save people's lives for TikTok's sake, I told my director at Communities United with other organizations, I said, all right, I help y'all get that bill passed. So I spoke out on it some years ago. Why? I just want to say this, why? When I open up my mouth, right, to fight against the system that tends to enslave and oppress us, like I'm doing right now, and I have a tendency sometimes speaking out by myself, even though I'm with other organizations. Why do y'all make me out to be the bad one? For speaking out towards a system that's designed to take people out. But the moment I open up my mouth to talk against that system, a lot of y'all make me out to be the bad person. Y'all realize that? I want to see our young people get older. We talk about our children or our future, right? But yet a lot of us is turning our backs on our youth. A lot of parents are turning their backs on their own children. If your children is at the point that they're being disrespectful to you and you can't handle them by yourselves, That's why you have these nonprofit organizations out there in your communities. Reach out to them. Reach out. I tell y'all this all the time. Wait a minute, I'm trying to grab my arm. I know this felt a little bit too heavy. That was like too much right there now. Come on there. There's too much information right there. It ain't that, shouldn't be that heavy. And it ain't that heavy. But look, Baltimore City. When y'all hear me just mention like certain names, I'm just talking about organizations, and this not just Baltimore City, DC, Virginia, Delaware, New York, New Jersey, any city y'all in, y'all have organizations in that community that's supposed to help fight and slow a lot of this down. I met Curlin White some years ago, right? She works with a lot of our youth in Baltimore City. A lot of y'all in Baltimore City know Shelly Stefani up off of Emerson Avenue. So y'all know what he does. A lot of y'all know about Roland Hall, Chef Roland Hall. He's not only a chef, he works with the youth, with the young girls basketball team. These are people in Baltimore City with businesses and nonprofits just working with the youth. Dr. Humphrey is with Baltimore Trauma Response Team. Van Brooks, mentoring. Damon Cooper, Phenomenal. He's a life coach. I don't hear people throwing these names around that much. But when I come on my live Baltimore City, I'm going to throw their names around. Joe Gamble, ex-football player, the YMCA on Drew Hill. But he's a speaker too, so he's speaking out. He's doing some great things. Umar, I always talk about Umar boxing. Books Before Hooks. Lisa Cooper, Workforce Development Program. Baltimore City. I'm only saying this because if you have some youth, your children, that's running around out of control, you have we, ours, us. Dr. Rodell Hall and I go to the same church. It's some of my church members that walks with we, ours, us. You had Baltimore Peace Movement, Erica. A lot of y'all know them, familiar with them. Uncle T. I've been watching a lot of, he's doing great work, him and his wife. Working with our young men. Sometimes as adults, we can get so selfish and self-centered, caught up in our own self, but we got children, but we busy promoting us. That's okay too, but you got to balance. You got to balance it. I just wanted to throw that in. No matter what. My youngest, 23, be 23 May the 5th. Son, only got one son. 25-year-old daughter, youngest. Get ready to move into her own apartment down in Canton Hill, down in Canton, scaring the mess out of me now. She works in a law firm. She got her degree in Bachelor's of Art. Well, her Bachelor's of Art degree. Her goal is to become a lawyer. So she had, you got to start the process. I'm so proud of her. my 27-year-old. Goal is to get her become a daycare provider. We talking about the terrible twos with our granddaughter. My oldest daughter is an LPN. Probably gone back to school to become a nurse now. I remember when she used to do private duty. I'm talking about our children. I'm saying their family because I came out of school in the 10th grade, 9th grade education. You can talk about me all you want. But one thing I realized through this process, family, no white man ever held me back. It's me. Started my own LLC. Started my own housing program to help homeless and less fortunate individuals and families. But y'all in Baltimore City, and it's not trying to be smart, just flip it around. You want to make me out to be the monster. I know I'm not a monster. My mother raised me very well. It's a lot of monsters don't like me talking, speaking out the way I do. It ain't me. But if y'all want to put me in that category, it's okay. Anything you want to talk to me about, you can always call me. I'm about business. And that's helping us, I'm talking about in Baltimore City, to become a better, much greater city. And you know just what popped in my mind when I said that family, bringing back the village. It takes work. Y'all do not hear me up here talking about, oh, they don't want this, they don't want that, even if some of them, we know they don't. But guess what? I have no problem still trying to encourage, motivate, and empower us to come together. Come on. You talking about a guy, right? I'm talking about me, who used to do smugs and stuff like that, to deal with life, to have fun, to fellowship, to party, to pay bills, poison in the community. You could not tell me I was wrong, even if you said it out your mouth. I had to see it for myself, family. So just saying this to our teenagers, if you out there practicing some destructive behaviors, Big Unc understand. And it seemed like it's the right thing to do until your eyes become open. Sometimes you got to go through what you got to go through to realize that wasn't right. That was unhealthy. But then you got some young, 13, 19, who are doing the right things, who are staying away from trouble. But my goal is reaching out to those that a lot of people be like, I ain't got time for them. I ain't trying to help them. They don't want them. They don't want to change their lives. I want the ones that y'all think won't change. They might not. But guess what? Those are the ones that I really want to reach out to the most to help. The ones that seem a little bit difficult, more difficult, you get me? Because the more I look back at my life when I was younger, and like I said, my mother raised me, but my mother worked to make sure we had a roof over our head, to make sure we had food to eat. So she taught me at a very early young age how to do adult responsibilities. I could not do that to my children. Put that big responsibility on them like that. Some of y'all might be in your head, oh, it's okay, it's this, is that. That was a lot of stress. I can tell you now. It was a lot. I should have been out there enjoying myself without the use of alcohol, without the use of the smugs, for TikTok's sake, the drugs, for my on the talk show. And then when I got clean, family, and I started going into some of these facilities where young people was in, I couldn't believe it. They was 8, 9, 10, stuff like that, using hardcore stuff. So when I know our younger generation doing certain things like that, what is going on? That's the only thing I could think of. What is going on deep down in here? Is it lead? Is it mold? Is it some type of something chemically in the house that's causing those behaviors? Y'all know we got a bill passed in Baltimore City for slumlords to become licensed landlords. Bill Henry got that. Bill Henry and a guy named Jason created that bill because they believed that the lead and the mold and the rodent droppings, what was causing our youth behaviors destructively. So you know some people did sue for like lead poisoning and stuff like that, right? We helped them get that bill passed. Where slumlords have to become licensed landlords. I can only speak for Baltimore City, family. Now, how well that's going, I don't know, because that been years ago. But a lot of them already know. And I'm talking about slum lords. No, by right, their property need to be up to code. And once again, they will play the system to prolong as long as they can. Mainly when you have a lot of properties. So when people call me about certain things, I just get them the numbers to some of the because they contracted, but they're not supposed to be using our regular inspectors anymore because someone was taking bribes. So they start using private contractors to go and do the inspection on houses and stuff, even when it come down to HUD housing. But you know, whatever bill you put into place, it actually takes a while to execute that bill. It's not something that happened overnight, but it's just the point that we know and we feel good. So if I'm right there, I can say something to you. Say, yeah, you know, I'm one of the guys that helped them get that bill passed for slumlords to become licensed landlords if your property is not up to code. And when I tell you stuff like that, you don't know if I'm going to report you or what. So Baltimore City, understand this, family, from where I came from. And I'm talking about the lifestyle, the drugs, the smugs, the alcohol, the addictive lifestyle, the hustling. I never would have thought that God would have me on this path. It's not me. So for a lot of people in Baltimore City, I just want y'all to understand, I love my city. I was part of the destruction. I was part of the mayhem. I choose, thank God, not to live like that today. Because of Jesus Christ, the Holy Spirit, the Creator, Allah, Jehovah. I'm in front of the Teen Talk Show live streaming. Monday through Friday, the Couch Conversation Show. Keeping life real. The Teen Talk Show Parents. It's about giving our youth a voice. And in the process of giving our youth a voice, parents, I realize y'all are the voice for your children. You are the voice, parents. So whenever your child come to you and want to discuss certain things to you, maybe about an uncle, a grandfather, a husband, a boyfriend, a aunt, somebody that you might not really want to believe that's doing what they said or what they telling you that they did. And you don't want to really believe it because you, parent, felt like you failed your child. No, you did not, because you did not touch him. Or you did not know. But if you knew that that person was the type of person that believed in touching children, you know you should not let that person around your children. I had somebody over here one day, we was talking, and they was talking about how they was violated. The sister was violated. And certain people knew. I'm only saying this because I want our youth to know and understand. It's okay to talk about your trauma. It's okay if you have to go to a school counselor. If you're in a church and you have to go to the pastor just to seek help, treatment. It's okay. The same way adults have other adults to support them, our youth needs strong advocates too. Sometimes you might can't feed them straight out Bible because they ain't looking at it. Because they like, why did God allow this to happen to me? He can't be a good God. I'm going to tell you, out of all the years that I went through what I went through, and I'm talking about coming up, no matter what, I didn't use God in the sense that I should have. I'm talking about as a child coming up, as a teenager. We got so many grown-ups that will look in the Word of God and will find the worst information in there to beat you down and make you feel useless, hopeless, and helpless by the Word. I don't play that because we already know there's a good side to life. We already know there's a healthy side. So most of the time, the ones that really, I was going to say don't know Christ, but them too, because you got a lot of people in Christ, still some unhealthy people. Only because they don't use the word for healing. I'll be darned if I'm going to sit up here and read something and study stuff and then don't use it for my benefit. I got to use it to better my life in order for me to help somebody else. The Be More's Real Teen Talk Show, giving our youth a voice. And I'm going to say this: if you have been raped or you're still being raped, we can talk. If you're being mentally, spiritually, emotionally abused, and I'm talking about our teenagers, we can talk. I will guide you to the proper help, counseling, therapy, big brother, big sister. I will guide you to getting the proper help. I will personally encourage you and thank you for being honest. That's the first step. So when you hear me talk about my 12-step program, whenever you talk about whatever is going on in your life, and I'm talking about our youth, one, it starts with communication, opening your mouth. Once you open your mouth and you being honest about the trauma or the issues you're going through, our young people. I was getting ready to say young adults. That's why I was starting, but I wanted to go a little bit lower, age-wise. You got to admit it. That's being honest. Because right now, it's about getting in here. Once you're able to talk about it, about being honest in a free way, you gain faith. Because you starting to believe back in you. Remember I said it a little bit earlier. You starting to trust back in yourself. You're not running off of low self-esteem. You're not running off of hatred or bitterness as much, our young youth. That anger, that fear, that resentment. Because you're being honest about yourself. You having faith in yourself. You trusting back in yourself. So now you can take a look without fear, anger, resentment, hatred, bitterness for whoever did what they did to you, and yourself for what you felt like you should have, could have, would have done. You get me? So however you thinking in those senses, you got to let it go. Just for today. If it's beating you up and causing your life to be miserable, where you're not happy, joyous, and free. Hey, Faith, where you're not happy, joyous, and free in the here and now. Where you're not living your life as a 13-year-old, a 14-year-old, a 15-year-old. You young. You should be enjoying your teenage years. Going camping. Getting involved in some of these community neighborhoods associations like music, art, theater, dancing. Embracing your talents. Now this is where the parents come in at to make sure whatever visions or dreams your child have, I'm talking about the ones coming up now, that can tell you basically what they want to do as they get older. Then you start setting short-term and long-term goals with your children. But you got to start communicating with them, parents. You got to start communicating with them. And if you don't know how to do it, believe it. There's a lot of programs out there. I'm talking about professional-wise. People that get paid real good money. But it starts at home. I'm a prime example. That's why I do what I do. That's why if you looked at my video, I was telling the young lady over at the college, the Be More's Real Teen Talk Show, the Couch Conversation Show. Y'all know the Be More's Real Teen Talk Show is mostly based around our youth. Before they becoming adults. They still trying to put their lives together. Trying to see what direction they want to go in life. And I want to share this to y'all judgmental people, parents as well. Whatever your child may be, love him or her. You get me? Just love them. Because y'all already know the challenges they're going to face. People going to criticize them and talk about them anyway, you get me? Just let them know no matter what. Dads, I love you, son. I love you, my daughter. I understand that's just your desire for the same. You get me? Because I got to watch my language for TikTok's sake. Love your children no matter what. Some people just don't like the same. I mean the opposite. Boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl. Some people just don't find it desirable. That's what you got to understand. That don't mean no evil spirit and all this type of junk we want to throw at it. That don't mean you did anything wrong, parents. Love your child. Love your teenager. Teach them how to love and accept themselves for who they are. I'm 64 years old. I know I'm a very handsome goddamn man. 6'1". Walking with a limp. I'm trying to walk out the limp so I can walk straight. But I guarantee you somebody gonna say something negative about it. I need to make a dentist appointment. Getting tired of seeing teeth gone. I look unprofessional. I try not to focus on that bull junk. It's getting the work done. But see, if I sit back and you know some of y'all, he ain't got his teeth, he that. That's because you miserable. You miserable. Rev, I got a teeth right here now. I'm on my live stream talking. Sharing my experience, strengths, and hopes. But you in the background with your low self-esteem self. Can't you tell yourself, oh, look, you might look better than me. You might. I can guarantee you probably do. But that's all I got to do is tell you I'm a handsome man. I'm a nice looking man, and your self-esteem will drop. That don't mean you look bad. That don't mean you bad. Those are things I had to tell myself. Because sometimes I might look at myself some days and say, boy, you know, you really getting old, bro. Look at this right here. And then I look at myself again, family. 64, Steve. So do y'all realize the work? I'm just saying as an adult that you got to keep giving yourself to build up your own self-esteem. So imagine our children, like the teenagers that really don't know how to do that. So whatever I say out my mouth, I got to keep this. Y'all can't see it, family, on my TikTok because I got that prompt up. But I got to remember this right here. The first step, we said we admitted our powerlessness. Even when it comes to my feelings and emotions, just try not to act out in a destructive way. We came to believe that a power greater than ourselves will restore us from acting out in a destructive way. We made the decision to turn our will and our lives over to a higher power. Because I was going to say power greater than ourselves. That's the second to jump into the third, right? These are the main three steps. And then it repeats itself. But they go on a deeper level each time. See, when I talk about honesty, that's just being truthful. To thy own self be true. When I talk about having faith, the size of a mustard seed, but now mind you, every time I talk, I'm going in. I'm going in. Even though I'm looking at the word, I'm looking at this Bible, I'm looking at all it, but I'm going in. It's becoming personal. But I had to get an understanding of it first, like the word of God. I had to get an understanding of Bible for what it is. Being in the 12-step program, I had to get an understanding of the word for what it is. Then it started transforming. I started feeling something inside. A lot of people is not there. And that's not to knock you. It's just you are not using the tools to better your life here. Your circumstances might not change, but the way you see it is what changes. It is what it is, but God got it. You get me? God got it. So once I was able, the first three steps, right? And I'm learning to be true to thyself. I'm learning to be honest. I'm learning to have faith in me. I'm learning to trust in me. So do y'all realize when they say we need to get to the root cause? And I'm going to try to do this real fast and quick so I can go ahead and lay y'all. But look, we got to get to the root cause of why people behaviors are the way they are, our youth. So now we got to get you to take a fearless and moralist inventory, because right now you're being honest. You're going inside yourself. You facing those issues like jealousy, insecurities, distrust, hatred, resentment, bitterness, rape, grape, molestation, Dig, I can't even think of a word for that one. For TikTok's sake, we love TikTok. Okay? Mental, emotional, and verbal abuse. Sometimes we got to watch how we say things out of our mouths to our children. I ain't even talking about the physical yet. When you put your hands on them. Okay? In an abusive way. Because I haven't beat nobody with a belt in a while, spare the rod, spoil the child. But I'm just saying, I don't want to. Okay. So now you're looking back at that anger, the resentment, the fear, and all of that. So you're looking at how you acted out in a destructive way because of your pain. The insecurities, the jealousies, the distrust. Now I'm about the sixth step. I'm about at the 6 steps now. Ready to ask God to remove those negative things from me. That hatred, that bitterness, that anger, that fear. I'm asking him to remove it. They only arrested family a day at a time. Those are the things that cause us pain and misery in the here and now. And I'm talking to our young people. When you acting out on your anger, your fear, your resentment, your jealousy, your insecurities, your distrust, and you see how it's causing you a lot of pain, that's that destructive side of you. So you asking God a day at a time. Look, some people say I've been delivered. Some people say I've been redeemed. It's only a rest of the day at a time. You call it what you want. Okay? I'm keeping it real. I can say it too. It all depends on how good I want to sound. Oh, I've been delivered. I've been redeemed. But I can tell you, a lot of the stuff I used to do as a child, I don't do no more as an adult. So certain behaviors as a child, as a teenager, it's okay. But the goal is not to do it where it will destroy you. My whole goal is I don't want to see you behind bars. I don't want to see you in the juvenile facility. That's why I talk the way I talk. Okay? Now the seventh step, you asking him, remember what I said? You asking him a day at a time to arrest the resentments, the anger, the fear, the jealousies, the insecurities, the distrust, the hatred, the bitterness. Because you don't want it to keep weighing you down. It just for today. I'm talking about in the here and now. That cause us to act out in destructive behaviors in an unhealthy way. So as a result of me doing those things, family, I had to make a list. I had to make a list and repair the harm and the damage that I caused in other people's lives because of my own pain and misery. I'm talking to our youth. Because of me not feeling that love, that affection, and that attention, even though Barbara Jean gave what she could at that time. 7 children by 7 different men. She had to make sure we ate, kept the roof over our head. I'm not mad at my mother. Because I'm going to tell y'all, she did the best she could with what she had. I ain't mad at all. Because I'm looking at my life today. I'm not mad. Now, as a result of that, right, I had to clean up that mess I made. So I had to make a list and became prepared to go back and say, I apologize for the harm that I caused you when I was coming up. Remember what I talked about, the resentment, the anger, and the fear? Acceptance is the key to life. I'm talking to our youth. Acceptance is the key to life. I had to learn to love. I had to learn to forgive. Rather than me carrying that resentment, that anger, that fear, the distrust, the jealousy. I had to learn to replace it. So when y'all hear me say I'm a loving, caring, kind, considerate man, I can also tell you I can be a rotten, remember? No good son of a sea biscuit too. Because I understand that is only arrested. I always hit this arm right. Because this the flesh part I be picking with. This the spiritual side, right? That has to gain control over the flesh. No, you can't do this. No, you can't have that. No. Because I had to gain control over the body. I had to learn to gain control over my feelings and emotions. And guess what? Our youth, you can do the same things. But the only things I'm saying is not to act out in an unhealthy way. Big Uncle come for you. I'm telling you, I don't want to look. I'm looking at our youth, right? I don't want to see y'all in the juvenile facility for something that you probably over there saying, I should have walked away. I should have this and that. That's all I'm saying with all of that. With our juveniles. And you know they're going to create more facilities because they want you to keep the system wise. Big Unc don't want you to keep doing stuff that's going to put you behind them bars. And I'm talking about adults too, kids. So, I mean, our youth, our teenagers. Don't think I'm just talking about y'all. Because, you know, we got that process too. I don't want to see, because I'm telling you, I was over there, 61 years old, right? First time I ever been locked up. Teenagers, listen to me. And the juvenile facility was right up the street. As soon as they turned 18, they was down with the grown-ups. Come on. I watched some of our young men, 18, go to the window, look out the window, and I felt sad for him, right? I'm like, he's still a child. He should be out there enjoying himself. You know what I mean? Having fun with his other youth and stuff. And I ain't talking about doing nothing unhealthy, just enjoying life. He looking out the window. And I'm like, wow. Well, glancing out the window. All that life in front of him. He behind bars. Now, I'm saying that because some of them committed crimes when they was like 13, 14. And they was in a juvenile facility. And the moment they turned 18, they came into the adult facility. One little young guy, I forgot what he said he did, but he did something where he was spending some time. Now I'm going to say this. Nice looking young man. I'm going to do it again. Nice looking young man. He nice looking young man. Now he behind the bars with the hardened criminals that don't have nothing to lose. Look at what I'm saying, fam. And the only thing I could think of, they're going to take advantage of this young man. I think at that time, it was about 18, I think. That was 3 years ago, so he's about 21 now. And I guarantee you, now where I was at, we was waiting to go to court part, right? But he was waiting to be sentenced with in the hardcore spots. And being young, I'm like, somebody can take advantage of him. And you know what? When I was over there, family, I was telling them about the Couch Talk show. I was telling our youth about the Teen Talk show. The correctional officers told me, shut up. They said, Mr. Copeland, stop, as far as trying to encourage them, motivate them, empower them. I said, no, I won't. I'm going to continue. But then they start sending people towards me. So it got to the point, to be honest, I had to stop talking as loud as I was. I just want to say this, Baltimore City. Sometimes the work that we do is a price that comes with it. I'm not one of them ones, Baltimore City, to just talk a good game. I am a little bit older now. Then again, let me rephrase that. I'm a lot older now. I've been trying to regain my energy. I don't know if that's to regain my energy to continue fighting the way I've started out fighting early on. But I can tell you right now, my body is not for it. I'm talking to a lot of our youth, right, who wants to become successful in life, who wants to become paralegals, who wants to become doctors, lawyers, mechanics, electricians, pipe fitters. See, you can start out an apprenticeship program and end up starting your own business. It's just the point of getting licensed and then getting your master's degree where you can certify others. You can train. I've seen it happen plenty of times. You can get into truck driving school. Start with one tractor trailer, end up getting your own several. Culinary school. You can go to college if you like. But there's so many ways and means for our youth to be successful in life. Like I said, I don't care what city you're in. Any nonprofits that's in that community, hey, gorgeous, their goal is telling the state and the government what they're going to do to rebuild back up in that community. The same way you have the police out there, police in the community. Your heart and your mind have to really be into it. I don't know what else to say other than strengthen the community. The Latanya D. Copeland House of Hope. When I say I'm a community activist, I'm a community outreach coordinator. I'm a homeless advocate. Everything I say out my mouth is all about building back up in the community. You can also Google search me, and it will tell you everything Steve Copeland do in Baltimore City. It will take you to some of the social media pages that I live stream to. It will introduce you to me and tell you about me. So TikTok, a lot of people might come up here with some fake and phony bull crap over here. That's not how I work. Now, I am going to start making me another list of people with housing programs, with youth centers. I got a list of people now. I already know some people, but I feel like I need to add more. If you Google me, it's going to take you to a lot of other business, but it's going to say Steve Copeland. I'm telling you now. For certain groups that I'm affiliated with. What's up, Keith? I'm all about the people. I'm all about our youth. I'm about family. As a religious man, as an ordained deacon, as a minister for Christ, I know what I was called to do. Fighting against the system that wants to keep us enslaved and oppressed. I'm not by myself. No problem. You're always welcome. I sent you the link. I sent the link to several people to come up on the broadcast network. If you on TikTok, it's a lot easier to come up on my platform on TikTok until I get better with doing my broadcast network myself. But I need a team, Keith, to run that. We'll talk. Hey Keith, we'll talk because I'm really interested in the things you was telling me. I am. From what you was talking about. I'm really, really interested. I want to know more. So I'm just waiting on you, bro. You know, it's been a lot of people, Keith, who reached out to me about some certain things, right? And they never really followed through. But I know you stick to your guns. No matter, I don't mean pew pew TikTok. I gotta make sure I watch the way I say that. So I'm really, really interested, man, in us sitting down and talking. And let's see what happened from there. But you know, in order to change the system is putting the word out. So we have to continue empowering and encouraging our people. So many people. They just don't believe, Keith. When I was on Greenmount the other day, Keith, I did not know that a lot of the stores over there off of Greenmount and 33rd are closed down. I did not know, Keith. And the only thing I could think of, Keith, when I seen that between 33rd, all right, between 33rd and I'm going to say 29th, Old Town Mall. You heard what I just said, Keith? Between 33rd, Greenmount, that strip. Only thing I could think of, Keith, Old Town Mall. I said, now what is they going to do with this area? Because I know they got to have plans for it. They got to have plans for it. That's a more conservative area. They just can't, not around there. I said I was going to shut my mouth. And Keith, I said I was going to look, Keith, I said I was going to shut my mouth because Greenmount. Then I looked over at Melba's. I looked over at that corner dining spot that used to be, man, please. I'm like, only Keith, I'm trying not to go too deep, right? The only thing I could think of, our politicians got some plans in store for that area right there. Come on. You know, most of the people live in that part right, that area right there is right. Keith, 33rd, even though that's a shopping mall. All right, yeah, because Keith, I was talking with this lady, right? And I was, because they didn't want me to like show them, right? And she was talking about, yeah, and the shoe store closed and this one closed. I'm like, huh? I said, what? I said, I don't know what plans they got for that area, man, but come on. And then, you know, we got the YMCA, where the old stadium used to be. They done built up so beautiful right there. And then I was picking with the young people on the corner, right, that's hustling. Somebody made a statement about that one store on that corner where they talking about how they will run you off that corner, right, over there off of 33rd. So when I came by, I said something to them, right? And they ain't do nothing but bust out laughing. They said, we ain't like that. All right, Keith, I got you. I ain't going too deep with that one yet. Keith said we ain't got no politicians. I was messing with our little hustlers, y'all, right there on Greenmount at that store. And they said somebody made a statement about them, right? A negative statement. And the girl that was there, she said, yeah, she heard about it too on YouTube and stuff like that, right? How they just made a negative statement about they will run you off of that corner right there. So here I go, limping down York Road to Greenmount. So I get down there at 33rd, and y'all know I had to pick with them. I had nothing better to do. And a lot of times when I'm dealing with our young people family, I have a tendency, I'll call them like family. I'll call them nephew. I'll call them, you know, because I'm big unk. You know, I'm old. So I'm big unk. And a lot of them, all depends on the certain words you say, they realize he's an OG. You get it? Somebody that used to do certain things. So some of them will respect you to the utmost. And some of them who's not used to having or used to having a male in their life, right? They will kind of buck you. So I'm used to all that too. But for the most part, I had to pick with them. And I'm glad somebody was right there who was able to tell them, yeah, somebody did put something out about that store and watch your back as far as going in there and blah, 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 right? And then I went down a little further to one of the spots that used to be a movie, and they doing like, they working out doing martial arts and boxing, stuff like that. And 33rd, man, I mean, when I was younger coming up, you couldn't wait to go to over there to Greenmount in 33rd Street. That one little strip, right? Now, and I seen the suit where you can go and order your suits and ties and your why did you say Herman's? Herman's is still there for the uniforms and stuff like that, the school uniforms. And that other spot is there. But yeah, I'm gonna get ready to end this, family. I love y'all, Baltimore City, like I said. And Keith, I'm waiting on you, bro. I'm waiting on you. Keep scared. What's up? Keep scared. Um, Marlo, look, Marlo Hargrove. I'm gonna be talking from this book sometimes too, family. Look, Baltimore City, y'all better support my brother. Y'all better support my brother. The Mind on a Mission: How to Overcome Trauma by Facing All Challenges Every Day, by Marlo Hargrove. I brought his first book, The Mind on a Mission. What I tell y'all, family? What I tell y'all? It's all about this. My 12-step spiritual journey. It's all about this. Help need help too. So I say what I'm gonna do, because tomorrow is Men's Mental Health, right? And I know, because Marlo and I, we business partners. And like I told him, I said, I've been praying, because I don't know if God want me to just work with the women and children, but I know he already does the men. So that's not a problem. That's not a problem. So I won't have to focus on the men as much. But if you need help and you reach out to me, then I'm going to point you in the direction of the FACE program. Now, see, he works with ex-offenders and stuff like that. So, to my children, I like this. So I'm going to get more into it. But I already know where Marlo Hargrove is at. I already know where Archie Lee is at when it comes to building back up in the Black community. And when I say that, not just the Black community, family, because like for myself, we help a little bit of everybody. And it say, look, overcoming my past hurt and trauma. So I will be encouraging and promoting his book as well, through my conversation, through the work that I do with the Couch Conversation Show, with the Be More's Real Teen Talk Show, to let y'all know there are programs out here that we will guide you to the professional help that's needed. Okay? So I love y'all, Baltimore City. Keep your head up. Keith, I'm waiting on you. I don't know what God's plans are, right? But I just know it's something bigger and better for his people. And my goal is just to stay obedient and keep walking forward. Each time I go out there, family, even when I'm in the house, I talk to him. Most of all, what I'm realizing, you got to be real patient when it comes to working with the Holy Spirit. You got to be patient. And I just want to say this for TikTok's sake. I've been getting a lot of invites. And I just want to say thank y'all for sending me the invites. But it's not you as the host. It's not you. if you have a messy panel and a toxic panel, to be honest with you, I don't care to be on it. Sometimes I might want to come in just to observe. Sometimes I might pop up, but that's out of respect for you. But I'm not for a lot of this chaos and the confusion. And please don't think I'm just trying to avoid you or anything like that, family. And when I send out a video later, I'm going to put that in there because, look, I can guarantee you, I got about 10 invites to come on somebody's stuff. And I don't want y'all to think personally I'm avoiding you. I just don't feel like a lot of the other stuff. See, I tolerated certain things, and then when I got off the platforms, I was wondering why my spirit was out of whack. And I said, I'm going to stop doing it. I'm going to stop going to other people's stuff, and if it's messy and toxic amongst us, then it takes work for me to get that peace back over my spirit again. So Baltimore City, I love y'all. And I'm going to go ahead and end this. And this is B Moore's Real Teen Talk Show. Share the live, family. Baltimore, share, like, subscribe. Now, on my Facebook page, once I get my analyst thing, right, let you know how you did throughout the week or the month, something like that. It's a lot of y'all American people watch my stuff. I'm telling you. It's a lot of y'all, and I'm really, 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 really proud of y'all. Because it shows me where my videos and my lives are being seen the most and people that's active in it. See, now, if you're not on my Facebook page, Stephen Copeland 909, to put comments in, I won't see it if you commenting somewhere else. Right? But now on my Facebook regular page, my main public page, I can see your comments and respond back to you. But if you on Stephen Copeland 59, I can't see it till I'm off. A lot of the comments that might come on my other social media pages, Twitter, Twitch, I won't see them until I go through them. So in order for you to communicate with me, you would have to actually, once I'm able to do a better job with my Restream broadcast network, having people up like I do TikTok. I don't know how the freak I'm gonna do it, but that'll be too, to be platformy. I might just embed my TikTok in this time. But I know because of their community guidelines, I have to watch certain things. But anyway, that's something else we'll talk about a little bit later too, Baltimore. Because this is a broadcast network. Okay. I'm restreaming through Restream IO broadcast network. Okay. And then TikTok is just TikTok. But that's seen all around the world too. All right. So, all right, family. I love y'all. Take care, Baltimore City.